Zurzath walks through the restaurant, watching as a diverse crowd of beings from all over the galaxy sample the dishes he and Maria once dreamed of serving. There's a human family sitting at one table, sharing a bowl of Scoville Inferno stew, a dish so fiery it brings tears to their eyes but also joy. At another table, an alien family from the planet Kyrix, their skin shimmering with a bioluminescent glow, shares elderberry spiced pizza, an Earth creation with a twist. The laughter, the satisfaction, the shared joy of discovering new flavors, it's everything Zurzath ever hoped for. The restaurant's success speaks volumes about the power of food and creativity. Word has spread throughout the galaxy that Maria's Flavor Haven is a place where beings of all races and backgrounds can come together, united by the simple act of sharing a meal. It's not just a place for food, it's a place for connection. Message: Earth's creative resilience. As time passes, Earth's position in the galaxy grows ever more secure. No longer seen as a primitive, quarantined world, Earth is now a cultural hub. Its cuisine has become a symbol of human creativity and resilience, something the galaxy once feared, but now embraces with open arms. Zurzath watches this transformation from his restaurant's observation deck, gazing out over the city below. He recalls the long, difficult journey that brought him here, the battles, the struggles, the sacrifices made along the way. He remembers Maria's final words, "Our flavors tell our story. Make them unforgettable." And he's done just that. The story of humanity's survival and triumph is written in every dish served at Flavor Haven. Earth has become a beacon of cultural resilience. In a galaxy where conformity and order reign supreme, humanity's creativity stands as a testament to the power of individuality and emotion. The unique flavors of Earth, spicy, sweet, bitter, and sour, have become a symbol of the strength that comes from diversity in personal expression. The galaxy's elites now seek Earth's culinary expertise, eager to learn the art of blending ingredients in ways that stir the soul. Yet, even as Earth becomes a respected part of the galactic community, Zurzath never forgets the price of that victory. He knows that Maria's sacrifice was not in vain. Every plate served at Maria's Flavor Haven is a tribute to the woman who gave her life for this dream. He keeps a photograph of her on the wall behind the restaurant's kitchen, a reminder of the person who showed him that food was more than just sustenance, it was the language of the heart. The lasting impact of human creativity. Zurzath continues to mentor young chefs, both human and alien, teaching them the art of balancing flavor and emotion. He encourages them to experiment, to push boundaries, and to embrace the boldness of human creativity. For him, this is the ultimate way to honor Maria's memory. To pass on the knowledge she shared with him and to continue to spread the message that creativity can heal, unite, and inspire. One day, a young human chef named Lucas approaches Zurzath, holding a bowl of sweet and spicy chocolate mole, a fusion dish combining Earth's chocolate and chili peppers with a touch of alien spice. Lucas is nervous but determined. He watches as Zurzath takes the first bite. Zurzath's eyes widen in surprise, and he smiles. "This is incredible, Lucas. You've done it. You've taken the spirit of Earth and combined it with a new vision, a new voice." Lucas grins, relieved. "Thanks, Zurzath. I learned from the best." Zurzath's heart swells with pride. He knows that this new generation of chefs, both human and alien, will carry the torch forward, ensuring that Earth's cuisine, and its message of emotional resilience, continues to shine brightly. A bright future ahead. As the doors of Maria's Flavor Haven open to a new group of visitors, Zurzath steps outside and breathes in the fresh air of Thalmaris. The universe has changed. It is no longer a place dominated by fear, conquest, or uniformity. Instead, it has become a galaxy where creativity, individuality, and emotion are celebrated. Earth's cuisine has shown that the heart of a species lies not in its technology or weapons, but in its ability to create, to connect, and to persevere in the face of adversity. Zurzath knows that the journey isn't over. There are still challenges ahead, but with Maria's Flavor Haven thriving, he feels more hopeful than ever. He looks up at the stars, knowing that Earth's story is just beginning to be told, and that its flavors will be unforgettable, forever. And with that thought, Zurzath smiles, content in the knowledge that humanity's triumph will continue to inspire generations across the galaxy. This, Zurzath continues, is a perfect example of what Earth's cuisine can offer. It is a dish that blends sweetness, heat, and earthiness. It can evoke memories, spark emotions, and unite even the most divided beings. It is more than food, it is a story told through flavor. The moment of truth. Zurzath waits as the council members deliberate. Some remain silent, while others argue heatedly. The tension is palpable. He knows this is a pivotal moment, not just for Earth, but for the future of galactic culture. Finally, the Supreme Leader speaks, his voice a low rumble. You make a compelling case, Zurzath. But what do you want from us? Zurzath stands tall. I want Earth to be free. I want humanity's cuisine to be shared with the galaxy. And I want the Federation to recognize that it is not a threat, but a beacon of hope. A reminder that no matter how advanced we become, creativity, true creativity, should never be suppressed. There is a long silence. Then, one by one, the council members begin to nod. Slowly, they rise in agreement. The Supreme Leader hesitates for a moment before speaking. We will allow Earth to remain open to the galaxy. Its cuisine, its culture, will not be banned. Humanity's creativity will no longer be feared, but celebrated. Zurzath feels a wave of relief wash over him. He has done it. Earth is safe. Humanity's flavors will continue to spread, a symbol of resilience and hope. The victory, a new dawn. As Zurzath exits the council chamber, he looks out into the vast expanse of space. He knows the journey is far from over. There are still challenges ahead, but for the first time, the future feels bright. He reaches into his pack and pulls out a small box. Inside is the final dish Maria had created, a recipe she had perfected in the final moments before her sacrifice. Zurzath smiles softly, remembering her last words. Our flavors tell our story. Make them unforgettable. He holds the box close to his heart. With a renewed sense of purpose, he sets out to spread Earth's cuisine to the farthest reaches of the galaxy, ensuring that the stories of humanity, and Maria, will never be forgotten. The news spreads like wildfire across the galaxy. Zurzath, once the most celebrated chef in the galaxy, has opened a new kind of restaurant, one that bridges the gap between species, cultures, and planets. It's called Maria's Flavor Haven, a tribute to the woman who inspired him and the flavors that saved Earth. Located on the bustling, multi-species planet of Thalmaris, the restaurant stands as a shining beacon of unity and creativity. The building is a striking blend of alien architecture and Earth-inspired charm, with walls decorated in vibrant colors and soft lighting that evoke the warmth of a home-cooked meal. Inside, the air is thick with the aromatic scents of fusion cuisine, spicy dishes from Earth mixed with exotic ingredients from distant stars. Zurzath stands at the entrance, greeting guests with a humble smile. He's no longer the same ambitious chef who once sought to conquer the culinary world. Now, he is a humble servant to the spirit of food and its power to unite. His heart swells with pride as humans and aliens, both old and new friends, sit together at long tables, laughing, sharing stories, and savoring the flavors that transcend boundaries. But in his heart, there is always a lingering ache. Maria, the brave chef who had taught him the value of human flavors and love for food, is gone. Yet her spirit lives on in the restaurant, in every dish, in every bite. It's her legacy, her strength and courage, that drives Zurzath to continue this work. Every meal served here is a tribute to her, a reminder that creativity and emotion can change the course of history. Zurzath doesn't answer. Instead, he opens the container, releasing a cloud of aromatic smoke into the air. The scent is intoxicating, rich, spicy, and heavy with the promise of something extraordinary. Kralgon steps back, his sensors twitching as his body involuntarily reacts to the powerful smell. His eyes widen in confusion and discomfort. What is this? Kralgon growls, trying to suppress the overwhelming sensations flooding his senses. Zurzath steps closer, his voice calm but filled with purpose. This is the Scoville Inferno, a human creation. It's a blend of spices so intense, it can overwhelm even the most advanced sensory systems. Kralgon stumbles back, his breath coming in short gasps. The heat from the flavors begins to suffocate him, his vision blurring. His combat-enhanced body cannot handle the sheer force of the taste. His throat tightens, his mind spinning. The very essence of his being is attacked by the complexity of Earth's cuisine, and he collapses, incapacitated by the taste. Zurzath stands tall, watching the bounty hunter's defeat. The battle is over. He has won, but the true challenge is still ahead. Council debate, Earth's culinary genius. Zurzath steps onto the grand stage of the Galactic Council, his heart still racing from the battle with Kralgon. He is a stranger to this political arena, but today, he represents something far greater than himself, Earth's culinary genius. The vast, luminous chamber is filled with alien dignitaries and powerful beings, all of them watching intently. A tall, stern figure rises from the council's center, the supreme leader of the Galactic Federation. His voice echoes through the chamber. Zurzath, you stand before us after defying our laws, breaking galactic protocol, and endangering Earth's existence. What could you possibly offer to the galaxy in return? Zurzath takes a deep breath and steps forward, his hands trembling but his resolve strong. He looks out across the council members, feeling the weight of their judgment upon him. He opens his mouth, but his first words are not of defiance or pleading, they are words of passion, the same passion that Maria once shared with him. I offer you this, Zurzath begins, his voice steady. Humanity's greatest achievement, its cuisine. A murmur ripples through the council. The supreme leader raises an eyebrow. Cuisine. After everything you've done, this is your answer. Zurzath nods, undeterred. Yes. Earth's cuisine is not just food, it is an art form. A reflection of humanity's creativity, resilience, and deep connection to their emotions. No other species in the galaxy has the ability to create flavors that stir the soul the way humans do. You must understand, the complexity of human cuisine is not a weakness, it is their strength. It is the essence of who they are. He pauses, letting his words sink in. The council members exchange glances, some intrigued, others skeptical. Zurzath pulls out a small vial from his pocket, one containing a sample of Earth's most delicate, most complex dish. He uncorks it and allows the aroma to waft into the chamber. The fragrance is subtle yet powerful, and it draws the council members in. From a safe distance, Zurzath watches the blaze, his heart shattering as he realizes what Maria has done. The flames light up the night sky, a beacon of sacrifice and defiance. He hears her voice in his mind, echoing her final words. Our flavors tell our story. Make them unforgettable. With renewed resolve, Zurzath activates his cloaking device and slips away into the shadows. He knows he can't let Maria's sacrifice be in vain. Her dream of sharing Earth's culture and creativity with the galaxy has become his mission. As the fire dies down, Kralgon emerges from the wreckage, his armor scorched but intact. He scans the area, searching for any sign of Zurzath. But the chef is gone, and Kralgon growls in frustration. Maria's charred food truck stands as a haunting reminder of her bravery. The scent of burnt spices lingers in the air, a ghostly echo of her culinary genius. Alone in the wilderness, Zurzath finds a quiet spot to rest. He retrieves a small container from his pack, filled with the spices Maria had shared with him. He opens it and inhales deeply, the aroma filling him with a bittersweet mix of sorrow and determination. She gave everything for this, he whispers to himself. For her dream, for her people, for me. I won't let it end here. Zurzath begins to plan his next move. He knows the Federation will stop at nothing to silence him, but he also knows that Maria's spirit lives on in every dish he creates. He will honor her memory by sharing Earth's flavors with the galaxy, no matter the cost. A legacy of flavor. As dawn breaks, Zurzath stands on a hill overlooking the city. The rising sun bathes the world in golden light, a symbol of hope and new beginnings. He whispers a silent promise to Maria, "Your flavors will change the galaxy. I swear it." With that, he sets off on a journey to rally Earth's resistance and spread its culture far and wide. Maria's sacrifice has given him a purpose beyond survival, a mission to ensure that the stories and flavors of Earth are never forgotten. Maria's heroism and Zurzath's resolve set the stage for an epic battle between creativity and conformity, a fight not just for Earth's survival, but for its soul. The aroma of her final dish lingers in the air, a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, the power of human ingenuity and passion can ignite a revolution. Zurzath's heart pounds as he steps onto the cold, metallic floors of the Galactic Space Station. The station orbits the barren planet Dranzith, once home to the alien elites who crowned him as the galaxy's greatest chef. Now, it's a battlefield, and the stakes have never been higher. The air crackles with tension as he faces Kralgon, the formidable bounty hunter hired by the Galactic Federation to stop him. Kralgon sneers from across the room, his eyes glowing with malice. "So, the famous chef thinks he can defeat me with his cooking," he growls. "You're a fool, Zurzath. Nothing can save you now." Zurzath doesn't flinch. His mind races, processing every move, every potential outcome. He knows this won't be a typical battle of strength and weapons. He needs to outsmart Kralgon, and he has just the weapon, Earth's flavors. With a swift motion, Zurzath reaches into his pack and pulls out a small, sealed container. He holds it up in front of him, and Kralgon eyes it with disdain. "What's that supposed to be? A new weapon?" Zurzath places a hand on her shoulder. "And this truck will take us to safety. We just need to keep moving." Maria shakes her head, her expression somber. "No, Zurzath. He's too close. If we don't stop him now, we won't make it out alive. You need to go. I'll handle this." Zurzath's eyes widen in shock. "Maria, no. We can find another way." Maria's fiery determination ignites. "There is no other way. You've shown me what's possible, Zurzath. You've shown me that our stories, our flavors, matter. And if the galaxy's going to taste what Earth has to offer, you have to survive." A desperate plan. As the sound of Kralgon's heavy footsteps grows louder, Maria begins pulling supplies from the truck, bottles of oil, spices, and fuel canisters. Zurzath watches in stunned silence as she works with the speed and precision of a seasoned chef. "What are you doing?" he finally asks, his voice trembling. Maria doesn't look up. "I'm giving you a chance. This truck's more than a kitchen, it's a symbol. It's my life's work, and it's going to buy you the time you need." She pours the oil across the floor of the truck, the scent of spices mingling with the sharp tang of gasoline. She pulls a small photograph from the dashboard, a picture of her with her late parents, standing proudly in front of the truck when it was brand new. She tucks it into her pocket and takes a deep breath. "Maria, please," Zurzath pleads, his voice breaking. "I can't leave you here." She turns to him, her eyes blazing with determination. "You have to. Because this isn't just about me anymore. It's about all of us. Our flavors, our stories, they deserve to be remembered. Promise me you'll make them unforgettable." Zurzath hesitates, his mind racing with conflicting emotions. Finally, he nods, tears glistening in his alien eyes. "I promise." Maria's final stand. As Kralgon rounds the corner, his massive frame looming in the dim light, Maria steps forward to confront him. Her hands are steady as she holds a lit match, her face defiant. "Come and get me, you oversized tin can," she taunts, her voice steady despite the fear coursing through her veins. Kralgon pauses, his glowing eyes narrowing as he assesses the scene. "You think a little fire will stop me?" he growls, his voice dripping with disdain. Maria smirks. "It's not just fire. It's flavor." With that, she tosses the match into the truck. The flames roar to life, fueled by the oil and spices she prepared. The air is filled with an intoxicating aroma, a final testament to Maria's passion and creativity. The fire quickly engulfs the truck, forcing Kralgon to step back as the heat becomes unbearable. In a flurry of movement, they rig together a makeshift trap. Maria fills the pressure cooker with oil and chili powder, while Zurzath connects it to a power source, creating an improvised explosive. As Kralgon bursts through the door, Maria shouts, "Dinner's served," and activates the device. It explodes in a fiery burst, releasing a cloud of scorching chili-infused vapor. Kralgon stumbles back, his sensors overwhelmed by the intense heat and spices. The trap buys them enough time to escape, but Zurzath knows this is only the beginning. "Kralgon won't stop until he captures us," he says as they sprint through the city. "Then we'll stop him first," Maria replies, her defiance unwavering. "If the Federation thinks they can silence us, they've got another thing coming." A plan forms. As dawn breaks, the pair finds temporary shelter in an underground hideout. Exhausted but determined, they begin to formulate a plan. Zurzath proposes reaching out to Earth's resistance network, a loose coalition of human rebels who have been fighting against alien oppression since the invasions began. "They'll have the resources we need," Zurzath explains. "Weapons, safe houses, even communication relays to broadcast a message across the galaxy." Maria nods, her mind racing. "And we'll use that message to do more than just fight back. We'll show the galaxy what they're trying to destroy." Zurzath raises an eyebrow. "You mean you're cooking?" "I mean our cooking," Maria corrects him. "If the Federation is scared of human creativity, we'll give them a reason to be. We'll make something so powerful, so unforgettable, that even they can't ignore it." The stakes rise. Their plan is risky, and the odds are stacked against them. But Maria and Zurzath are united by a shared determination to protect Earth's culture and creativity. As they prepare for the challenges ahead, their bond grows stronger, forged in the heat of adversity. Meanwhile, Kralgon, now recovering from their latest encounter, reports back to the Federation. "They're more dangerous than we anticipated," he admits. "But they won't get far." The Federation begins deploying additional forces to Earth, escalating the threat to humanity's survival. Time is running out, and Maria and Zurzath must act quickly if they hope to turn the tide. Their journey is no longer just about food, it's about freedom, identity, and the power of imagination. Together, they must prove that even the smallest act of creativity can spark a revolution. The night is heavy with tension as Zurzath and Maria race through the city's labyrinthine streets. Behind them, the relentless bounty hunter Kralgon closes in, his advanced sensors locking onto their every move. Despite their best efforts, escape seems impossible. They reach Maria's food truck, parked in a quiet alley, its vibrant paint now dulled by soot and wear. Maria looks at the truck with a wistful smile. "This is where it all began for me," she whispers. "Every dream I've ever had started right here." The message rattles Zurzath, but Maria demands answers. "What's going on? Who sent that?" With a heavy sigh, Zurzath reveals the truth. The Galactic Federation's strict quarantine of Earth isn't about protecting humans or keeping them safe from external threats, it's about control. Human creativity, their unique approach to art, music, and now food, is seen as a threat to the galaxy's carefully maintained order. The Federation thrives on uniformity, Zurzath explains. Every species has its place, its purpose. But humans, you create chaos. Your imagination disrupts everything they've worked to build. If they can't contain it, they'll eliminate it. Maria's fiery determination flares up. So what? They're scared of our ideas? Of a little creativity? That's pathetic. It's more than that, Zurzath says grimly. By teaching me your methods, by sharing your culture, you've crossed a line. If the Federation sees your influence spreading, they'll do more than quarantine Earth, they'll erase it. Maria's face hardens. Let them try. If they want a fight, they'll get one. The threat escalates. Their conversation is cut short when a loud crash shakes the restaurant. The windows shatter as a hulking figure steps through the debris, a Federation bounty hunter named Kralgon, towering and covered in sleek, bio-enhanced armor. His glowing eyes scan the room, locking onto Zurzath. You've gone too far, Chef, Kralgon growls, his voice reverberating with menace. The Federation doesn't tolerate insubordination. Surrender, or I'll level this entire city. Zurzath knows Kralgon's reputation as an unstoppable enforcer. But Maria refuses to back down. Grabbing a nearby frying pan, she hurls it at Kralgon with surprising accuracy. It bounces harmlessly off his armor, but the act buys them precious seconds to escape. The chase begins. Zurzath activates his cloaking device, shrouding them in an invisible field, and they slip out through the back door. Kralgon, however, is equipped with advanced tracking sensors. He quickly picks up their trail, and the chase spills into the neon-lit streets of the city. Maria and Zurzath dart through narrow alleys, weaving between food stalls and neon signs, while Kralgon crashes through everything in his path. The air buzzes with the hum of his energy weapons, firing bolts of plasma that narrowly miss their targets. Zurzath pulls Maria into a shadowy corner and whispers, "We need a distraction." Maria glances around, spotting a street vendor grilling skewers over an open flame. An idea sparks in her mind. Grabbing a handful of spices from the vendor's stall, she tosses them into the fire. The flames roar to life, creating a blinding flash of light and smoke that temporarily disorients Kralgon. That won't stop him for long, Zurzath warns. Then we'd better keep moving, Maria replies, adrenaline pumping through her veins. Improvisation as a weapon. The duo finds temporary refuge in an abandoned warehouse filled with old cooking equipment. Kralgon's heavy footsteps echo outside, growing louder by the second. "We're out of time," Zurzath says, his voice tense. "Not yet," Maria counters, scanning the room. Her eyes land on a pressure cooker, a canister of oil, and a stash of chili powder. "We're cooks, remember? Let's use what we know." Zurzath hesitates before answering. "No. I'm not. But it doesn't matter. What matters is this." He gestures to the dish they've created together, a fusion of earth spices and alien techniques. The flavors are bold, unexpected, and utterly unique. Maria decides not to press further. "Well, whoever you are, you've got talent. But don't think for a second that I'm letting you take all the credit for this." They laugh, the tension easing as they share their first real moment of camaraderie. The next few weeks fly by in a blur of experimentation and discovery. Zurzath introduces Maria to alien cooking methods, teaching her how to extract flavors using advanced techniques like molecular distillation and energy infusion. In return, Maria teaches him the importance of tradition and storytelling in food. Together, they create dishes that defy expectations, sweet and savory combinations that dance on the palate, textures that shift with each bite, and flavors that evoke memories of distant worlds and long-lost loved ones. During one particularly intense session, Maria hands Zurzath a knife and says, "If you're serious about this, you need to understand one thing: cooking isn't just about ingredients. It's about connection. You're not just feeding people, you're sharing a part of yourself with them." As he slices through a ripe tomato, the words sink in. For the first time, Zurzath understands what he's been missing. Their bond transcends the boundaries of species and culture. Maria's fiery determination and resilience inspire Zurzath, while his calm intellect and unyielding curiosity push her to take risks she never imagined. One evening, as they sit together in the dimly lit restaurant, Maria looks at him and says, "You know, I think we're not so different after all. We both want the same thing, to create something that matters." Zurzaf smiles, his alien facade flickering briefly as he allows himself a moment of vulnerability. "And I think we're getting closer." Through their partnership, Zurzaf discovers that the true essence of cooking isn't in the complexity of the techniques or the rarity of the ingredients, it's in the emotions it evokes and the connections it fosters. For Maria, working with Zurzaf reignites her passion for her craft and gives her hope for the future of her family's restaurant. Together, they prepare for the ultimate challenge, creating a dish so extraordinary, it will redefine what it means to cook, not just for humans, but for the entire galaxy. Zurzaf's culinary journey on Earth takes an unexpected and dangerous turn when the shadow of the Galactic Federation looms over him. Late one evening, while experimenting with spices in Maria's kitchen, a sudden transmission from his concealed communicator interrupts their work. The Federation has discovered his location. The holographic message is brief but chilling. "Zurzaf, your reckless pursuit of forbidden knowledge jeopardizes the balance of the galaxy. Surrender, or Earth will pay the price." Realizing his mistake, Zurzaf smiles awkwardly. "I meant no offense. Your food is extraordinary. It's just, incomplete." "Incomplete?" Maria's voice rises. "What are you, some kind of food critic?" "I'm a chef," he replies hesitantly, his alien pride preventing him from admitting his true origins. "I'm searching for something new. Something I've never tasted before." Maria crosses her arms, her skepticism evident. "Well, you won't find it by standing there criticizing me. If you're such a hotshot chef, why don't you get in the kitchen and show me what you've got?" What starts as a tense challenge quickly turns into a unique partnership. Zurzaf's advanced knowledge of molecular gastronomy clashes with Maria's instinctive, emotional approach to cooking. Their first attempts to collaborate are a disaster. Zurzaf insists on measuring every spice to the microgram, while Maria relies on her intuition, tossing in handfuls of ingredients with reckless abandon. "This is chaos," Zurzaf exclaims, watching Maria stir a pot of sauce without any apparent plan. "And this," Maria retorts, "is art. Cooking isn't just about precision, it's about feeling." Their arguments become a regular occurrence, but slowly, they begin to learn from each other. Maria introduces Zurzaf to the concept of cooking with emotion, explaining how each dish tells a story. She shares the history of her family's restaurant, how her grandmother taught her to make tamales by hand, and how every recipe carries a piece of her culture. At first, Zurzaf struggles to grasp the idea. His hyperrational mind, trained to analyze and perfect every detail, finds it hard to connect with the emotional aspect of cooking. But Maria refuses to give up on him. "You want to know why your food feels hollow?" she asks one evening, leaning against the counter. "It's because you're not putting yourself into it. You're too afraid to let go and just create." Her words strike a chord. For the first time, Zurzaf begins to see cooking not as a science, but as a form of expression. As their partnership deepens, Maria becomes curious about Zurzaf's origins. She notices small inconsistencies in his behavior, his unnaturally precise movements, his ability to identify spices he's never encountered before, and his reluctance to talk about his past. One night, while they're experimenting with a new recipe, she finally confronts him. "You're not from around here, are you?" Zurzaf ducks into an alley, scanning his surroundings for an escape route. His cloak flickers briefly, struggling to maintain his disguise as he sprints through narrow streets. The drones grow louder, their searchlights sweeping the marketplace. Several humans glance upward, murmuring in confusion. A vendor shouts, "What's going on?" but Zurzaf doesn't stop to explain. He weaves through the crowd, narrowly avoiding a collision with a cart full of ripe tomatoes. Finally, he spots a small, unmarked doorway leading into what appears to be a storage room. He slips inside, pressing his back against the wall as the drones pass overhead. His heart pounds as he waits in the shadows, listening to the hum fade into the distance. When the danger passes, Zurzath exhales deeply. But his resolve only strengthens. If human cuisine can evoke this level of passion and danger, then it's worth every risk. This is only the beginning, he whispers, stepping back into the vibrant chaos of the market. The scents, sounds, and sights surround him once more, and he can't help but smile. Earth's flavors are calling, and he's ready to answer. Zurzatha's journey through Earth's bustling marketplace eventually leads him to the edge of a quiet neighborhood, where the air is thick with the smell of freshly baked bread and charred meat. He follows his nose, guided by the tantalizing aromas, until he finds himself standing in front of a small, run-down restaurant. Its faded sign reads, La Cocina de Maria. The place is far from inviting, paint peels from the walls, and the windows are streaked with grime. Inside, only a handful of customers occupy the mismatched tables, eating in silence. But the food being served has an undeniable charm. The dishes are vibrant and aromatic, each one an intricate masterpiece despite the humble surroundings. As Zurzath watches from the shadows, a woman bursts through the kitchen doors, balancing a steaming tray of plates. Her presence fills the room. She's young, with fiery eyes and an air of defiance that commands respect. Her hair is pulled back in a messy bun, and her apron is splattered with sauces and spices. Come on, people, she calls out to her small audience. You don't just eat food, you feel it. Taste it. Let it tell you a story. Her passion is magnetic, and Zurzath can't resist stepping inside. The first encounter between Zurzath and Maria is awkward, to say the least. She catches him analyzing a plate of her enchiladas, his alien-enhanced senses breaking down each ingredient with scientific precision. What are you doing? She asks sharply, narrowing her eyes. Zurzath quickly composes himself, his shape-shifting cloak flickering slightly as he adopts a more approachable tone. I was appreciating your work. The balance of flavors is intriguing, though the acidity could use more refinement. Maria's jaw drops. Excuse me. You walk into my kitchen and tell me how to cook. Earth, he mutters, taking in the cool air and unfamiliar sounds. Let's see what all the fuss is about. The bustling marketplace is a sensory overload. Zurzath finds himself in the heart of a vibrant human city, its streets alive with activity. People shout over one another, haggling for fresh produce, fragrant spices, and sizzling meats. Food stalls line the streets, each one offering dishes that emit mouth-watering aromas. His enhanced senses are overwhelmed. The air is thick with the scent of grilled skewers, bubbling stews, and freshly baked bread. Brightly colored vegetables and exotic fruits he's never seen before are stacked high on wooden carts. Everywhere he looks, humans are indulging in food with a passion that borders on obsession. Zurzath pauses at a small stall where a middle-aged man flips flatbread over an open flame. The bread puffs up, golden brown and crisp. The vendor brushes it with butter and sprinkles it with fragrant herbs before handing it to a customer. Zurzatha's stomach, alien though it may be, tightens in anticipation. This, he whispers to himself, is unlike anything I've ever seen. He moves deeper into the market, careful to avoid drawing attention. His disguise is flawless, but his curiosity threatens to betray him. He stops at another stall where a young woman stirs a large pot of thick, red soup. The broth bubbles violently, releasing a cloud of spicy steam. Customers line up eagerly, each one sweating profusely after just a few sips. Zurzath leans closer, his sharp senses analyzing the ingredients. Capsaicin, he murmurs, identifying the chemical compound responsible for the heat. But there's more, notes of garlic, citrus, and a complex medley of herbs that defy easy categorization. Hey, you gonna buy something or just sniff around? The vendor snaps, her hands on her hips. Caught off guard, Zurzath quickly reaches into his cloak and pulls out a few shiny coins he had synthesized before leaving his ship. The vendor squints but accepts them, handing him a small bowl of the fiery soup. He takes a cautious sip, and his eyes widen. The flavors explode in his mouth, each one battling for dominance yet somehow harmonizing perfectly. The heat is intense, but it's the complexity that leaves him stunned. He has tasted thousands of dishes across the galaxy, but nothing like this. This is extraordinary, he says aloud, earning a few odd looks from nearby customers. Just as he begins to immerse himself in the culinary wonders around him, a distant sound catches his attention, a low, mechanical hum. His enhanced hearing identifies it instantly: drones. The humans haven't given up the chase. Emerging from the ship, he activates his holographic disguise, a human form that blends seamlessly with the locals. As he steps into the city, he's immediately overwhelmed by the sights, sounds, and smells of Earth. The aroma of grilled meat, sizzling spices, and fresh bread fills the air. Zurzatha's gaze locks onto a small food stall, where a woman is serving steaming bowls of chili to a line of eager customers. The sign above reads, "Maria's Kitchen." A smile tugs at the corners of his mouth. "Let the journey begin," he murmurs. And so, the greatest chef in the galaxy takes his first step into the world of human cuisine, unaware of the challenges, dangers, and life-changing connections that await him. Zurzatha's sleek, black starship hums with barely audible energy as it approaches Earth. The ship's cloaking device flickers momentarily, struggling to remain active under the immense gravitational pull of the planet. Despite the cutting-edge technology at his disposal, Zurzath can feel the tension building. Earth's skies are notoriously dangerous. Years of alien invasions and near-extinction events have turned humanity into a hypervigilant, paranoid species. Their defenses are crude compared to galactic standards, but they're persistent and lethal. Inside the cockpit, Zurzath grips the controls with 2 of his 6 arms while the others rapidly adjust settings on his console. His AI assistant, Vetra, speaks in an even tone. "Warning, multiple human military satellites have locked onto our energy signature. Cloaking device efficiency is dropping to 82%. Recommend evasive action." Zurzath smirks, his sharp features illuminated by the dim light of his navigation screens. Let them try. This is a journey worth every risk. The moment his ship breaches Earth's atmosphere, alarms blare across several human outposts. Ground-based missile silos and aerial drones spring to life. Within moments, Zurzatha's ship is detected by a swarm of human fighter jets. Their outdated yet aggressive AI systems begin broadcasting a warning. "Unidentified vessel, you are entering restricted airspace. Land immediately or face termination." Zurzath rolls his eyes. "Vetra, how primitive are their weapons?" "Primitive but numerous," Vetra replies. Recommendation: do not underestimate their enthusiasm for destruction. As the jets close in, Zurzath performs a series of daring maneuvers. His ship twists and turns through the clouds, evading missiles and laser-guided weaponry with razor-sharp precision. The humans' relentless pursuit surprises him. Despite their technological shortcomings, their determination and coordination are impressive. A missile finally grazes his ship, causing a violent shudder. Sparks fly from the control panels, and the cloaking device begins to fail. Vetra's voice remains calm but firm. "Shields at 67%. Immediate landing is advised." Zurzath grimaces. "Fine. Let's find a place to hide." Spotting a dense forest near a sprawling human settlement, he dives toward the ground at breakneck speed. The ship crashes through the canopy, scattering birds and shaking the earth as it comes to an abrupt halt in a hidden clearing. Smoke rises from the damaged engines, but the ship remains intact. Zurzath steps out cautiously, his sleek figure shrouded in a shimmering cloak. With a wave of his hand, he activates the shape-shifting module embedded in the fabric. His alien features morph into a rugged, humanoid appearance, a tall man with tan skin, sharp cheekbones, and dark eyes. The cloak adjusts to resemble Earth clothing, blending him seamlessly with the local population. Zurzatha's eyes narrow. Danger often hides brilliance, he replies. Without hesitation, he steps down from the podium, ignoring the murmurs of confusion and disbelief from the audience. Zurzath, where are you going? Demands the host of the event, a towering, insectoid alien. To find the truth, Zurzath declares, his voice calm but resolute. If this Scoville Inferno is as remarkable as claimed, I must experience it. No law, no council, and certainly no rival will stop me. The crowd erupts into chaos. Some cheer his boldness, while others call him reckless. But Zurzath doesn't care. He hands his trophy to an assistant and strides toward the exit, his ornate chef's robe billowing behind him. His 6 arms deftly activate the controls on his personal communicator, instructing his AI assistant to prepare his ship for departure. As Zurzath leaves the station, whispers ripple through the crowd. Some speculate he's gone mad. Others secretly envy his courage. But one thing is clear, he's just defied the Galactic Culinary Council and risked everything for a forbidden dish from a quarantine planet. On board his sleek, black starship, Zurzath sits in the cockpit, his mind racing with curiosity and anticipation. Set course for Earth, he commands his AI, Vetra, a smooth-voiced entity designed to assist with interstellar navigation and culinary research. Earth is under strict quarantine, Vetra warns. Unauthorized entry could result in severe consequences. Consequences are for those without ambition, Zurzath replies. This could be the discovery of a lifetime. As the ship engages its cloaking devices and jumps to hyperspace, Zurzath reviews the scant information available on Earth cuisine. The concept of spice fascinates him. Humans, unlike most species, seem to embrace flavors that challenge the senses, even to the point of discomfort. The journey to Earth is fraught with tension. Zurzatha's cloaked ship narrowly avoids detection by galactic patrols, who are ever vigilant for rogue travelers attempting to breach Earth's isolation. Each close call only fuels his determination. Finally, as the blue-green planet comes into view, Zurzath feels a thrill unlike anything he's experienced before. For the first time in decades, he's about to taste the unknown. The ship's landing is anything but smooth. Earth's outdated defense systems detect a faint energy signature despite the cloaking, forcing Zurzath to perform evasive maneuvers. He crash lands in a remote area near a bustling human settlement, his heart pounding with adrenaline. The story begins with the grandiose scene of Galactic Station Xenos, a colossal space station floating above the barren, crimson planet Dranzith. This station is a hub of luxury and sophistication, catering to the elite of the galaxy. Its halls gleam with polished alloys and shimmering crystal walls, filled with representatives from countless alien species. Tonight, they are gathered for a historic event, the crowning of the galaxy's greatest chef, Zurzath. Zurzath is a legend. With his 6 dexterous arms, each skilled in wielding specialized cooking tools, and a palate sharp enough to distinguish 1,000 unique flavors in a single bite, he is unmatched. His latest masterpiece, a shimmering blue dessert infused with rare stardust berries, has won him yet another accolade. The audience cheers as holographic banners displaying his image illuminate the vast chamber. But amidst the celebration, Zurzath looks distant. For decades, he has dominated the culinary world, yet the excitement of creating something truly groundbreaking eludes him. Every flavor combination feels predictable. As he stands before the adoring crowd, clutching his newest trophy, a flicker of dissatisfaction crosses his face. He wonders, is there anything left in the universe that can surprise me? Suddenly, the lights in the chamber flicker, and a low hum interrupts the ceremony. The holograms stutter, then transform into the image of a human man, gritty, determined, and wearing a battered space uniform. The crowd gasps. It's Captain Ryan Keller, a known Earth refugee and renegade who escaped the galactic quarantine imposed on humanity. Greetings, culinary elites of the galaxy, Keller begins, his voice crackling with defiance. I've watched your so-called masterpieces dominate galactic cuisine for years. But let me tell you something, none of your creations hold a candle to the raw brilliance of human cooking. The audience murmurs in shock and amusement. Humans. Those primitive beings. Keller continues, his tone growing more confident. Your refined palates wouldn't survive one bite of Earth's cuisine. It's too bold, too complex, too alive for your delicate taste buds. But if anyone thinks they can handle it, I dare you to try the Scoville Inferno. The chamber falls silent. Then, a low chuckle escapes Zurzatha's mouth, breaking the tension. The Scoville Inferno, he muses, his voice silky yet skeptical. What makes this dish so extraordinary? Keller smirks. It's not just a dish, it's an experience. A harmony of fire and flavor that can ignite your very soul. But it's not for the faint-hearted. Only a true master could comprehend its depth. The hologram fades, leaving the chamber buzzing with whispers. Most dismiss Keller's claims as human arrogance, but not Zurzath. The challenge strikes a chord deep within him. Could this dish, this so-called Scoville Inferno, be the breakthrough he's been searching for? One of Zurzatha's closest rivals, the jealous chef Malak, sneers. Surely, you don't believe the ramblings of a primitive refugee? The humans are quarantined for a reason, they're uncultured and dangerous.